TK421, why aren't you at your post? TK421, do you copy? Take over. We've got a bad transmitter. I'll see what I can do.
What is up, all of you Ugnaughts and Jawas out there, and welcome back to yet again another episode of Mando Talk. And based on that intro music, we got a special day. Happy Not at Your Post Day. I didn't know this was a thing. DJ hit me up and was like, hey, we got to do this intro little thing that I've created because it's Happy Not at Your Post Day. What's up with that, DJ? What's up?
It's so silly. It's so silly. I saw this meme, okay, and I'll tweet it here in a minute. So you guys want to see it, I'll tweet it. Go to @RebelScumTexan. But no, what the deal was is I just saw this meme and it was just Happy Not at Your Post Day, and it had a picture of nobody guarding the Falcon on the Death Star. And on top of that, it was just the guy who was like, TK421, why are you not at your post? And I was like, this is hilarious. This is hysterical. So I sent it to Caleb, and I just told him like an hour went by, and I thought, I could do something with the music tonight. So dropped that in there and thought it'd be kind of fun, and I'm glad I did it. I have no regrets whatsoever.
Oh, no, it was great. It was phenomenal. I mean, I guess it's not at your post day because of the day, April 21st.
Yeah, April 21st.
421. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
First of all, DJ, I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that you're back here. We got a loaded news report to deliver for you guys. 10 total news pieces. I feel like that might be the most we've ever done in a single episode.
That's 1 week.
Insane.
That's nuts. That's 1 week's worth of stuff. Like, we've taken a couple weeks off and had a load, but not like this. This is nuts.
Yeah, and tell you what, I put a poll question for our live listeners. Vote in that poll. We're going to get to that. That's our main title of the episode this week. The question was, do you believe Qui-Gon Jinn appears in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series? Liam Neeson, of course, recently spoke to the idea of coming back to Star Wars, so that is part of one of our news pieces, but we're going to wait to get to that to give everybody some time to vote in that poll for those of you that are live. So make sure you do that. We'll share those results when we get there. So DJ, are you ready to get into this news report?
Born ready.
Ready. Let's go. Okay, so our first one, I believe this one was actually 2 weeks ago. I could have done, or not 2 weeks ago, but about a week and a half ago. Me and Zach could have hit it, but I wanted to kind of wait until you, DJ, were here. And it is this: Bryce Dallas Howard reveals fans of Star Wars: The Clone Wars will be greatly rewarded in the Ahsoka series. She said the following: without giving anything away, you are going to love the Ahsoka show that's coming up. I cannot tell you anything, but what I can say is that you being a fan of the Clone Wars will be greatly rewarded. This is music to my ears. I'm so glad that they continue to triple down on making all of these great Clone Wars connections with these live action shows that they are producing. So this is very exciting. It's exciting to me that Bryce Dallas Howard knows some stuff, because that tells me maybe she's directing an episode of Ahsoka, and I would be thrilled with that. What did you think of these quotes from Bryce Dallas Howard?
These quotes are awesome, and this is not even the only Clone Wars thing we're going to talk about tonight, which is fantastic. Hint with the episode 3 hat, there's a reason, okay?
There you go.
But I love this because it tells us that the live action creators are taking into account the overall canon. Like, we're looking at the full canon and dissecting it and doing what we can with it. And I love that. So for me to hear Howard say these things, it's perfect. And I'm still under the belief she needs her own show or movie.
She does.
I mean, and look, listen, she's the perfect person to do anything in Star Wars. She's known George Lucas her whole life. She grew up with Star Wars. Ron Howard is a close friend of George. So it's just nice to know we've got this connection. And on top of that, George Lucas, this is a little sidebar. Katie Lucas, George Lucas's daughter, wrote several Clone Wars episodes. So it's cool to think that Texas, but it's cool to think that Bryce Howard is over here. She's doing Star Wars. Her dad's done Star Wars. It's kind of like fathers and daughters. It's fantastic with especially Katie and George. And as a girl dad myself, it's like, well, yeah, we could do that. It's really cool to watch all that kind of stuff come around. So I loved on the quotes, though. I know I got on a soapbox, but I'll get off of it now. Along these quotes, I love hearing this, and it's nice to know that they're going to be doing some things to connect back to the TV show.
Yeah, facts. Absolutely. I believe Ron Howard today or somewhere recently was just speaking praise as far as his daughter goes, Bryce Dallas Howard, recently, as far as her contribution to Star Wars so far. It's been great. And everyone I feel like is on board with give Bryce Dallas Howard as much Star Wars as she wants to do, because she continues to just crush everything. But this is very exciting. Exciting that she knows that us as Clone Wars fans are going to be thrilled with Ahsoka. That's great. That's great to hear. But let us know what you think in the chat, in Discord, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at Mando Talk on all those, by the way. Let us know what you think of that news piece. And by the way, what's up, RFB and John Hare in the live chat? We're glad that you're here. Again, if you haven't voted in that poll, vote in that poll. That's to any of you live listeners. All right, next news piece. We're not done with the Clone Wars.
No, we're not.
Even more love for the Clone Wars to report. Hayden Christensen reveals he watched Clone Wars and Rebels to prepare for his upcoming role in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here's the quote from Hayden. I also got into the animated shows, the Clone Wars and Rebels. They did a lot with these characters in those shows, and they did further explore the relationship. And I'm assuming that relationship that he's talking about is in particular with Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So
it is.
First of all, let me pause there. We'll get to what Ewan McGregor did as far as preparing for the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But the fact that Hayden Christensen took some time to watch both the Clone Wars and Rebels excites me, because like he says in this quote, there's a lot of great storytelling in those two shows, and it would be totally a missed opportunity for him to not see what they did with his Anakin character after he kind of left that character, to see, okay, what else has been added to my character's canon, if you will, before I put this suit back on. What might be going on emotionally? What might drive his decisions in this Obi-Wan Kenobi series? So all good things, all great things when I read this. DJ, what were your thoughts about Hayden taking the time to check out some animation?
It answers, excuse me. Oh, wow. That got me on. So sorry. I'll tell you, it answers a question I've wondered since about 2008, which is, have the actors from the live action series watched this show or these shows in this case? And it is perfect, to find out, yes, they've seen it, and like Hayden, especially because I know that Ahsoka is the main character of Clone Wars, but your number 2 main character is Anakin. Mm-hmm. It is. And I would put Obi-Wan in that 3rd main character slot, and then you can do what you want from there. But it's just no secret that they are the Clone Wars in a lot of ways. So for me, it's just so reassuring to watch, or to know that Hayden has seen all of these, and he knows the full story as far as it has been told on screen of Anakin. And that means a lot to me as a fan, not of just Star Wars, but like, I love Anakin Skywalker, and I've been playing Lego Star Wars, and I'm slowly moving through it, lots going on, and I'm a new dad and all that fun stuff. But I finally got to Revenge of the Sith, and I can't pull myself away to play as Obi-Wan. I just want to play as Anakin when it's available. And when I don't get to play as Anakin, I'm like, I don't really want to use anybody else. So it's just cool to think that this character still means that much to me. I'll be 28 later this year. I saw Hayden on screen for the first time in 2000, was it 2, like everybody else, and then again in 2005. So it's cool to know that he's put the work in and put the effort in. And I know Ewan's probably done the same things. In fact, I think it's somewhere else in that article. It talks about how Ewan went back and kind of checked some stuff out at one point. So it's just nice to hear all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Ewan, he said that he watched all 9 films. That was the quote, which sounds like Rogue One and Solo didn't make the cut as far as him studying. But that makes sense. I mean, I will say Rogue One, the only thing as far as Kenobi character that he could get out of Rogue One might be that line, or maybe just Bail Organa showing up. Mm-hmm. Because, of course, there's those rumors and reports that Bail Organa is showing up in this series. So, but we have to remember that Rogue One is after Obi-Wan Kenobi, like the timeline-wise, correct?
Sure. It is, but I mean, if he's going to watch all 9 films, fair. Why wouldn't you toss in, Rogue One? I can see him not watching Solo.
Yeah,
in
100%.
Fact, he was at the premiere for Solo. Remember, he sat with Ray Park. And
You're right.
There's a whole story. So it's not like he hadn't seen it, but it's nice to know, like, and Obi-Wan does have a major place, I think, in the sequel trilogy, specifically 7 and 9. I guess because Yoda shows up in 8, you can make that connection. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to see, okay, Hayden's watching Clone Wars and Rebels. Ewan's watched 1 through 9. It's just they're doing their homework. And I just feel like for a long time, and I was this way for a long time, these animated shows have just kind of been, crapped on. And that's not the case anymore because they're so important, mainly because of Mandalorian, honestly.
Fair. Yeah. No, I 100% agree with everything you just said there. It's very exciting to see that these two actors that we've come to love because of their performances in the prequels, let's just be honest, took the time to further their study and make sure that they gave it their best shot with this show that all of us, the world, cares so much about as we are inching very much closer to its premiere. And RFB points out in the chat, both Hayden and Ewan are fans too. # one of us.
One of us. One of us.
Exactly. There you go. So, great news. Love to read this. It was a great article, by the way. Entertainment Weekly. Go check that out if you haven't. And shout out to Hayden. It was his birthday this past week. So, happy birthday, Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
I said it on Twitter. I'll say it here, too. Hayden Christensen's portrayal of Anakin will always mean something to me. I mean, that's the dude I grew up with. Yeah. Like everyone, kind of grew up with Luke. I grew up with Anakin. It was cool. I wanted to be Anakin. That's who I wanted to be growing up. So hey,
I think we talked about this exact thing before. And I'm the same way. I wanted to be Anakin for a long time, and then you and I have also said when you're a kid, you want to be Anakin.
Yes.
But like as an adult, you kind of want to be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Absolutely.
And that kind of takes us into this next news piece.
It does. You want to take it?
I can if you want me to. Let's do it.
Take it.
Okay. Take it. Do it. All right. Whatever.
Remix.
All right. Hey. On the I think I lost my microphone. Hang on a second.
Yeah, you did a little bit, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
All right.
There you go.
Details on the Obi-Wan Kenobi villain Reva. Or Reva? Do we know?
I don't know, man. I was hoping just stick with Reva and roll with it. Let's go.
Reva. Rev up for Reva. Here we go. These details have been revealed via Making Star Wars. This is the site you don't look at unless you want to know a lot of information.
Thanks.
So prepare yourselves, those of you listening and watching. All right. Reva's humanity, this is a direct quote from Making Star Wars. Reva's humanity and anger will factor largely into the end game of the Kenobi series. Interesting. In that she isn't some inconsequential villain, as her perspective will have some emotional validity and an overall consequence to the story being told in the limited series. Nice confirmation again here that it's a limited series.
Sure.
The series will reportedly provide viewers with flashbacks of Reva's life, showing fans glimpses of Reva as a child being taken away from her family, being turned into a warrior for the Jedi, the horrors of Order 66, and finally being forced to choose between death and working for the Empire. Viewers will also see the dynamic between Reva and her fellow Inquisitors, with the Grand Inquisitor belittling her along with her abilities and potential and pitting her against the fifth brother. That is a lot.
That's a lot.
That's only half of what we have here in this report.
Yeah.
Let's stop and talk about this for a second. Caleb, my question to you is, and I think it's in this, you can kind of read into this pretty well, but does Reva turn back to the light by the end of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series?
Ooh. I don't know. Man. I don't know.
She's not a Sith.
Well, and I think maybe somewhere in here it might be the next quote as far as Kenobi ends up putting his faith in Reva a little bit. So I'm assuming if Kenobi sees good in her, there's probably good in her to where she does potentially turn back to the light. But I don't think she survives. I think if she turns back to the light, Vader or somebody at the end of this season is going to wipe her out.
Well, let's finish this quote real quick, and then I'll add on some thoughts.
I do want to say this, though. I'm pretty sure, guys. Your boy here said that Reva was a former Jedi, and we were going to see how she turned Inquisitor. So, come on. Give me some cred, guys. Give me some cred.
Round of applause.
Thank you.
Round of
Thank
applause.
you. Thank you.
Round of applause.
You can continue now. You have to take your W's when you can.
Yeah, absolutely. We all need a W now and then, and you got yours. Fantastic. All right. Here's the rest of this report. Okay, the report goes on to say that Obi-Wan understands and empathizes with Reva. Kenobi most certainly doesn't agree with Reva's actions, but understands why this former Jedi feels and acts how she does. The two will come face to face and blades will clash, but according to the report, Kenobi at some point will have to put his faith in Reva, as you said, Caleb, in doing the right thing, something that could cost her greatly. Though the report doesn't say it outright, it asks the question, can Reva kill an innocent child? Interesting. Yeah. I assume this is a reference to why Kenobi has to put faith in Reva and hope she does the right thing. It also leads down a speculative rabbit hole and to ask the question, which child? I mean, I would think it's Luke. And then it goes on, we know that young Luke Skywalker is in the series thanks to the trailer. And it's been reported that Leia Organa is kidnapped in the series thanks to a plan masterminded by the Inquisitors and is the reason Kenobi leaves Tatooine. I can 100% see that happening. Let me go back to this first set of quotes here real quick, where we talk about we're getting to see her origin story, not just as, I guess, mainly as an Inquisitor. I love that. We're getting to go back to Order 66, which probably means a Grogu cameo. I'm just,
Are you being legit?
I am.
Yeah, really?
No, I'm serious because why would we get Order?
Dude.
I mean, I get you can make a connection with Order 66 and Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But and obviously we're going to talk about it in this series, but it's Grogu, I mean.
As soon as Grogu pops up, people are going to say, The Mandalorian 2.75. It's here.
Yes. Oh, I love that. But at this point, I think we should just expect that, Man,
I don't think we get Grogu. I don't think we get any Mandalorian characters at all.
Hey, fair enough. I could see it happening, but it's like some little random sidebar thing,
Yeah.
It's just there goes, I don't know, Grogu strapped to a droid in a baby harness. That's what that's right now.
Fair.
That's my head canon right now.
Sure.
Until otherwise, disproven. So I like that we've got this stuff with Reva.
Mm-hmm.
I love that we're going to see some inner turmoil with this character. And I love that Obi-Wan's going to fight somebody besides Vader.
Yeah. I think that'll be good as far as teasing us and getting us prepared for that big showdown.
Yes, and it'll show us kind of whether or not Obi-Wan is the same Obi-Wan we saw on Mustafar, because let's face it, it's 10-year gap. 10 years is a long time, and
especially on Tatooine.
Absolutely. And I'm not totally, I have a new fun theory that I've been working on with whether or not why he aged the way he did, but I'll talk about that another time.
Fair enough.
But all this stuff with Reva is great. I could see that she being the one sent to maybe kidnap or kill Leia. For what purpose? I don't think it really matters at this point. The story will unfold and we'll get there. Caleb, so what are your overall thoughts on this?
I love everything I'm hearing right here, if I'm being honest. I mean, I remember, if I recall correctly, we had question marks about this character when we saw the trailer. But, I mean, as far as everything that we're reading here, sounds like a perfect role and to further push the Kenobi character along, which is the main goal of this show. And speaking of that, I did want to mention this, kind of while you had just brought up, and this will be a perfect segue to our next news piece, actually. If I recall correctly, one of the first things I texted you after the Book of Boba Fett wrapped, I said, man, I really hope that Obi-Wan Kenobi is solidly focused on Kenobi and no one else necessarily. Like you had just mentioned, like Grogu and who knows who else, whatever. Like I really want to make sure that this story is solid and solidified in making sure that we tell the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi and we don't venture off necessarily anywhere else.
Well, you're right in that.
Yeah,
you're right in wanting that.
And these quotes make me feel better, though, as far as her character, because it directly ties into Kenobi and him, because we talked about a couple weeks ago some other quotes about Kenobi's faith being tested and how he has to try to renew that faith. Maybe Reva somehow does that as well, because that word here, faith and all that stuff, is kind of thrown in here as well. So who knows? We'll see. But here's our perfect little segue. Rupert Friend, the actor that's portraying the Grand Inquisitor in Obi-Wan Kenobi, recently teased cameos and surprises in the upcoming series. Here's the quote that Rupert was saying. I think it was like an interview, like it was outside somewhere. I don't know if it was like a premiere of something or what, but he was definitely like at a red carpet kind of thing, at least. I don't know what it was. Anyway, if it's possible, this is from Rupert, if it's possible to be any more excited than folks already are, I would be. I think it's one of the most thrilling additions to the Star Wars canon. I think Ewan McGregor is doing things with that role that is a dream for fans of the original films. We can't obviously have Alec Guinness back, but I just think Ewan was absolutely born to play that part. I 100% agree with you. But wonderful cameos from people I obviously can't tell you. Easter eggs galore. And yeah, it's a thrilling ride. And connecting back to what I just said, the word galore has me a little concerned. I don't want like a ton of cameos just for no reason. I just got out of my mouth that I want Kenobi to be focused, solid, and telling that story of Obi-Wan Kenobi's growth. But it's still exciting. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe his idea of cameo is Bail Organa or Leia Organa or little Luke Skywalker. And all of those would be very key and easy integral parts for Kenobi's character. What did you think of these quotes?
Well, cameo doesn't necessarily have to mean like, I don't know, Dengar, like just, or it doesn't, or Snice Snoodles, it doesn't. It doesn't have to necessarily mean those people, I'm using those as reference because the recency of Book of Boba Fett, but, cameos could mean something like Tarkin.
Sure. I would like that one.
I mean, or Palpatine, and we've talked about that. And I think you and Zach talked about Palpatine a little bit last week. And and it could mean a lot of things along those lines. It doesn't have to mean, someone random. And to make that even more like poignant, cameos that make sense within this overall story from episodes 1 through 6 for Kenobi, like for within this limited series, they need to make sense, which is why Mando and Grogu made sense in Book of Boba Fett. Like there is an overall story, and Lucasfilm knows that Mando is kind of that avenue. And so it makes sense that Book of Boba Fett did what it did. And that's what needs to be done here with these cameos. And even if Grogu is in this show, like I'm currently just expecting him to show up. Okay. I don't see him coming into Andor, but I do see him in this. It makes sense for him to be in this. And the only reason I could think he would be in this, aside from that Order 66 bit, is like way back in season 1 of Mando, they said something about how like maybe, Grogu's just been passed around, You know, he's just kind of been passed around by different folks, and maybe someone's tried to rescue him here or there. You know, how did he get to that planet where Quill was? You know, in Mandalorian. So that's the main reason why I think he could show up as far as a cameo, like Rupert Friend says. I mean, he's very clearly like, I can't tell you what's going on because it'll ruin everything, you know? And again, it doesn't have to mean Grogu. It can mean somebody like Palpatine or Tarkin, you know, or Bail Organa or Leia, you know? And there was even a rumor at one point that the Queen of Alderaan, Princess Leia's adopted mom, was going to make a cameo. Heck, Natalie Portman could make a cameo. You know, there's a lot that could go down in this show. It doesn't have to mean we're going to connect it back to Mandalorian. So as far as his cameos go, I'm cool with cameos. I really like cameos. I mean, Stan Lee's the king of cameos. Put him in this thing.
100%,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, just throw a picture of Stan Lee up in the background. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. You know, fun fact, Stan Lee cameoed in The Princess Diaries 2. So there's that. He cameoed a lot before the Marvel stuff. It's kind of weird.
Interesting.
But anyway, you can Google Stan Lee cameos. There's a lot of them. Bria Organa. Thank you, Organa. Wow, where'd the Texan come from in me? It's either Bria or Bria Organa. I have no idea. But thank you, RFB, for reminding us of her name, because may she rest in peace in the stars and asteroids of Alderaan's demise. Anyway,
man, that went dark real quick.
Listen, that's how I do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm currently in a pitch black room, so hey, why not? Why not go dark? You know,
fair enough. No, this is. I mean, it's exciting. Him saying cameos. I think we're gonna be very well pleased by the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I can't wait. We're not done with Obi-Wan Kenobi. We got, of course, that main question that we have, but there is one other thing that we're going to hit real quickly before we address the Qui-Gon Jinn potential, and that is this. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but it is a development on Star Wars Eclipse. Is reportedly going better than previously reported as far as the development on that game. NGT, this was the source, NGT, responded to fellow Twitter users and said they believe that Eclipse would probably release sometime in 2025, so 2 to 3 years before Tom Henderson a while back estimated, and only 1 year behind the initial reports. So initially, Eclipse was supposed to come out in 2024. Then this Henderson guy said, oh, it's in trouble, like maybe not even 2027, 2028, something like that. Yeah. But here, we're saying, okay, probably sometime in 2025. So it's a little bit better than what was reported. It was about 3-4 weeks ago, maybe. So
something like that.
There's a little update on Eclipse. I know this is a game that, I mean, our trailer reaction as far as YouTube content goes, I think that might be the most viewed, other than the Obi-Wan Kenobi sizzle reel that had to be taken down because, you know, it wasn't supposed to leak. Our Eclipse trailer reaction, probably the most viewed thing we've ever had. So it obviously caught the attention of a lot of people. A lot of people are probably going to play this game once it finally gets made. What are your thoughts on this development on Eclipse?
Just on that trailer, real quick. Fun little behind the scenes. Caleb told me, don't scream into the microphone when you watch this. I said okay. And I'm glad I didn't, because when Yoda showed up, we looked like inflatable tube guy at the gas station, you know. And
we did, dude. We were playing.
a friend of mine, actually, his name's Parker. He's actually a Geekverse Reactions faithful, but he told me that, or he didn't tell me, he made me into a GIF just doing that, and I don't have it anymore, but it was super blurry. I looked like the Numa guy. You know what I'm talking about, the Numa guy?
Numa guy.
It's like classic YouTube. Look it up later, okay?
All right.
Classic YouTube. But anyway, no, so the Eclipse thing, as far as this goes, talking about this 2025 release, I like that, and I think that might be something that Lucasfilm is encouraging them to achieve, because Celebration 2025 will be the 20th anniversary of this little film up here on top of my dome, Episode 3. So I think that with Fallen Order's sequel, you know, dropping some stuff this year at the 20th of Attack of the Clones, it couples well to say, hey, not only are we celebrating the 20th of Revenge of the Sith, And by then we'll have seen Kenobi, so it'll all be kind of in this nice little package thing, and everybody can show up for the reunion and it'll be great.
Yeah.
I think it'd be nice to see some footage and stuff by then, especially at Celebration, which I will be attending in 2025. So
is that just like confirmed?
No, I'm going.
100%.
Oh yeah, 2025. I'm going. Okay. It's the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. I'm going. I'm going. If I've got to take how old will she be by then? It's my 3-year-old daughter with me. So be it. I will. I don't mind. I'm very much looking forward to it.
All right, I need to try to go then too. Mando Talk needs to just show up.
Help
2025.
Help us get to Star Wars Celebration 2025. There you go.
Do it. Well, there you go.
Before we do that, help us get 200 subs.
Great little transition.
Mm.
Great transition.
Yeah.
There's your little update on Eclipse. Wanted to throw that out there because, again, I know there's a lot of people out there that checked out that video of ours, so that means there's a lot of people that were interested. Anyway, that is half of our news pieces, folks. We've now hit 5. And, hey, we're kind of close to that 30-minute mark, so we're doing a pretty good job. We're moving along pretty well. Pretty well.
The faithful listeners of Mando Talk know that's pretty good.
It's usually we dive pretty deep, man. Pretty deep.
You said 10, I said talk less. Got it.
I said, okay, behind the scenes. I texted DJ today. First of all, DJ's just kind of out of it. He was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to be on. I got something that I have to do. Oh, wait a minute. That's something that I have to do is tomorrow. I can actually come on. And then I'm like, okay, DJ, we got 10 news pieces. And I knew I didn't have to say anything else. DJ would understand, okay, that means talk less.
I was like, got it. That's general advice that I get a lot from specifically my parents. They're like, talk less.
Well, and look, if we didn't have, if you didn't have your newborn baby girl, we would go an hour and a half, 2 hours. But life just kind of takes
on. That'd be no issue.
And here we are doing it again. We're delaying getting to our news pieces. DJ, take this next one. You got it. We're
moving along. Speaking of moving along, is Liam Neeson moving along from Star Wars? I would say he's not. All right. Liam Neeson has recently said he's interested in returning to Star Wars, but only so long as it is on film, a.k.a. in the movies. Mm-hmm. This is dumb. Here's what he had to say about it.
Great analysis.
This is dumb. He says, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to TV. I just like the big screen. He didn't. One time, I'm going to go on a soapbox rant real quick.
Here we go.
He not one time said, I'm not in Kenobi. He not one time said, I don't like anything on TV. Not one time did he say any of that. He just said, I like the big screen. I'm a bit of a TV snob. Look, Liam Neeson, we all know you're in this. And if you're not in this, your agent needs to be fired. Okay? I'm just being honest. This Hollywood is about one thing and one thing only. Benjamins. That's it. And Liam Neeson knows how to rake in the Benjamins. He did Taken 3 times. Okay? He's freaking Aslan the Lion. He was in 3 Narnia movies. He was in a Star Wars movie. He came back and did Clone Wars.
Yeah, he did. Which is TV.
So TV snob. He got paid for that. So, look, he is, to quote, I don't know the guy's name, but to quote The Last Jedi, I believe he is tooling with you, sir. That's what's happening here, okay?
That's perfect.
This Irishman is 100% in Kenobi. All right, Caleb, what do you have to say?
No, I agree. Qui-Gon Jinn is showing up. This Liam Neeson is trying to misdirect all of us because everyone is saying, other than, I will say our poll is 75% yes, Qui-Gon is showing up, 25% no. Other than that 25%, everyone thinks that Qui-Gon Jinn is showing up in this show. It's kind of like, everyone thought Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were going to show up in No Way Home eventually. everyone thinks Qui-Gon's gonna be in this series.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a massively missed opportunity if he's not.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that he's showing up. And I think, again, going back to those quotes a few weeks ago about how Obi-Wan needs his faith restored, who better to communicate with our main character than his old master?
It's only Qui-Gon, unless Mace Windu shows up. And heck, my headcanon says that dude turned to the dark side if he survived.
Wow. No, that's a podcast for another day for sure. That's a great discussion.
Right now, we'll shelve that one, bring it back out. But
write it down, put it down in our notes.
Real quick, hold on. we need a droid. We need a protocol droid to remind me. Anyway, it's got to be Qui-Gon. If it's not Qui-Gon, you said it perfectly. It's a missed opportunity. If he's willing to do 6 lines like total across, I think, 2 seasons of Clone Wars, what's one appearance in the ponytail wig and the episode 1 garb? I don't even care if it's got a singe, from Maul's saber I don't care if it's, I don't care. He needs to be there. And if he's not there, I'll be very sad. I'll still probably love what I see. I would prefer him being there. It's got to be him.
I agree. I think probably everyone would prefer for him to be there for sure. Now, it sounds like me and you both, and probably the majority of our listeners, believe this guy is going to show up. So the question that I have then, just to kind of continue this, since this is our main topic, we probably need to spend just a little bit more time
on
it. Is he in more than one episode?
I would say no.
Okay.
I think, the best place to see him from the content we've already seen is that cave that Obi-Wan's living in. It's already a blue tent and Force Ghosts. He's blue. Ghosts are blue. I
have Force Ghosts all around me.
You do. You are a Force Ghost. Is your shirt blue?
It is. Squad goals.
Is that Mando? Hold on, I see that shirt.
Yeah. Squad goals.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Is that Bill Burr? His glorious Boston self?
Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I want to go back to Boston so bad. Anybody been to Fenway Park is a religious experience.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, and so is a religious experience is Obi-Wan communing with Force Ghost Qui-Gon.
You're right. Sorry, this is what happens when I'm on a show for a week, for 2 weeks. But anyway,
I'm just messing with you, man. It's just good quality content. It's good content for our guys and gals.
Quality content for you Office fans out there. The truth of the matter is that the best place is in that cave. I can't see Obi-Wan being real optimistic here. The last time Obi-Wan had any even semblance of real legitimate optimism, I would say it's before he gets on his Star Destroyer to go to Utapau in Revenge of the Sith. Like that last moment where it's him and Anakin having a conversation and they send each other off with the "May the Force be with you," and you can tell, and I think in the Revenge of the Sith novelization, there's this really cool bit, if I remember right, where Palpatine was trying to split up Obi-Wan and Anakin. He's trying to remove Padme from the situation. He's trying to remove Kenobi from the situation. And by somehow getting Kenobi sent to Utapau, it makes it that much easier to turn Anakin. And that's the chess game, of Palpatine. So Obi-Wan's had no real optimism, I think, since then. You could say he was optimistic about beating Grievous on Utapau, but the number of times he fought and lost Grievous in the Clone Wars, I would say he's kind of like 50-50 going in there. So his last little bit of optimism, I feel like, is just right there with Anakin. Maybe I'm getting real deep into a character side of things. So he needs that optimistic, build up. And you're right. Qui-Gon's the best person to do it.
That's interesting because I've always interpreted in Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan holding baby Luke and Leia as his hope. That, okay, this is why I'm going to continue on. And I get now that we're getting this Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Maybe that interpretation that I've always had is going to be affected and impacted somehow, because we've never had this Kenobi series in between the two.
Sure. Yeah.
And so for me, that was Kenobi lost his hope and his faith when he saw Anakin burning, but then his revitalization, if you will, was when he held baby Luke and Leia. But now that we're getting the show, then maybe that really didn't do enough for him. And I'm assuming that didn't do enough for him, since we're getting a series about the guy.
There is a bit of optimism there, but if you look at just the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, some of the few words we hear Obi-Wan say are "stay hidden."
Yeah.
And we lost. He's 10 years removed from the war with some serious PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anybody needs to see somebody about a situation, it's Kenobi, and I would even put Yoda in that boat too, because he just seems a little bit crazy by the time we get to Empire. Even though he just flips a switch and, does his thing with Luke, but that's different. Another conversations for another day kind of deals. But I just don't, I could see like the optimistic, side of him. He did watch Padme die.
Mm-hmm.
He watched Anakin die. He watched Anakin die,
fair. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah, he watched the birth of Vader and the death of Anakin, and then he watches the birth of their children. And that's wild that he was there for the birth, first of all. But it makes sense that he was there. That's a part of the story that was done perfectly, in my opinion. I think, there are issues with the story in Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones for that matter, but that's one part that's done well.
There's zero issues with Revenge of the Sith, dog. Top tier Star Wars. Let's go.
That is my Desert Island Star Wars movie, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's the Star Wars movie I'm taking to the Desert Island. But, I guess you're right to say that's where his optimism is with the twins. But, 10 years removed from a war and all you're doing is living on a desert with your EOP in a cave.
Gets crushed pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're going to have your bad days. And for Kenobi, I'm thinking it's a few bad months, bad years probably.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
All he can do is wait for this kid to grow up. That's all he can do. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure Owen and Beru don't want Luke running off to join a religion,
Nah, definitely not.
I don't think that's the case here. So there's a lot playing into this that I think would hinder the optimism, but I see your point.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, regardless, and back to my question, I agree with you. One episode as far as Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, one episode.
And I think that it would be potentially in that cave to motivate him to do whatever needs to be done next, whether that be to go off to try to save Leia or who knows what. I don't know. I don't know at this point. No one knows at this point. But I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to see Qui-Gon Jinn, because it's happening, folks. It is happening. All right. Let us know what you think, though. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in Discord. Wherever you can find us. I would love to hear your opinion on, is Liam Neeson trying to throw everybody off with this quote? And is he, in fact, going to be in the Kenobi series? Let us know. All right, we still have some solid news pieces, so stick around with us. Skydance New Media announced a collaboration with Lucasfilm Games to develop and produce a narrative-driven action-adventure game featuring an original story in the Star Wars galaxy. Helming Skydance New Media is award-winning writer and director Amy Hennig, a game industry legend whose credits include the blockbuster series Legacy of Kain, Jack and Daxter, and Uncharted. First of all, another game added to the roster as far as games that are in development. Let me keep just reading everything that you need to know as a Star Wars fan. Skydance New Media was formed in 2019 with the goal of creating high-fidelity, richly interactive experiences crafted for traditional gaming platforms as well as emerging streaming services and designed to be appealing, inviting, and accessible to a global audience. Since its creation, the studio has assembled a team of developers and artists with decades of AAA experience in action and adventure gaming, as well as a diverse team of creative consultants from the worlds of film, television, games, and comics. Dual Shockers reports that the game is a revival of Henning's canceled Star Wars game codenamed Project Ragtag, which there is a ton of stuff online regarding Project Ragtag that I just did not have the time to dive into to give you guys some plot details and more information about that Project Ragtag. But regardless, the thing that pops out of the screen for me on this is the fact that Amy Hennig, who wrote Uncharted, writer and director, that's what stood out to me from this. Now, I have never played Uncharted, but I understand its impact in the gaming industry. I know that it's top tier as far as games go. I mean, it was enough to produce a film about the game recently with Tom Holland as the lead actor, lead character.
Yeah.
So that's great news. I know I'm not a massive gamer, so I don't know anything about all these industries, these medias, these production companies, whatever, but there's all the details. DJ, what do you think of this news and this latest addition to the gaming lineup?
I'm always for learning new things about Star Wars games. I'm primarily Battlefront, Fallen Order, Lego. That's kind of where I'm at. But if this game looks good enough, I'll pick it up. And my main question here, or not even question, they talked about their series. I recognize Jack and Dexter, and then I obviously know Uncharted. I feel like you can't be in this world that we live in, like the one that nerds live in, and not know about Uncharted. So for me, hearing that this individual, what's her name again? Amy Hennig. Yeah. She's over here running around with Lucasfilm. I think that's great. I think it's fantastic. And Skydance, I thought when I first read this, I was like, that's the film, that's the production company for film, isn't it? I had to go look it up. And sure enough, they've got both foots. They've got a foot in both camps. And it's funny. I'm kind of scrolling through the last few movies they've done, and I'm just on their website, just kind of looking at it. So I'm going to shout out a few: Mission Impossible Fallout, Jack Reacher, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Star Trek Beyond, World War Z, Star Trek Into Darkness. Most recently, The Atom Project, which I haven't seen yet. Looking forward to watching that, and Top Gun Maverick. So
interesting. That's a solid lineup.
A ton of Tom Cruise movies. Holy crap. And then they did the Michael B. Jordan, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, and then also Chris Pratt's The Tomorrow War on Prime. So you got a lot of really cool stacked stuff here from this group. And I could go down the rest of the list. I won't, but there's a lot there with what we're getting from Skydance here. So I think that you look at just their film stuff, it doesn't suck. It attracts people, A-list actors. So hey, let me give us some A-list actors to come into the video game world here. So
that'd be cool.
I'm all good with that. I like this news piece. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it is good news. And yes, indeed, this RFB asked us in the chat. This was formerly Project Ragtag. This new game, yes, according to Dual Shockers. Yeah. Okay, it wasn't in the official announcement, but reports, rumors indicate that this is, in fact, connected to that canceled, codenamed game, Project Ragtag. So, I mean, again, I haven't had the time to read up on that, but I know people have shared excitement about that game that was canceled before. I think there's been concept art and things like that were released for it, and it looked great. So this is great news, and I'm sure all of the die-hard video gamers out there are really excited for this one as far as the people that are working on it. All right, DJ, hit us with the next news piece.
All right, number 8. This is 8 out of 10. We're almost there, man. We're almost done. We almost did it. Okay? Kobe. Yeah, I don't get it.
Number 8. Come on, man.
I thought he was number 24.
Okay, he started his career as number 8.
Oh.
And then, midway, he thought he was... I don't know why he changed to 24, but people have always said he was one better than MJ, so he switched to 24.
Yeah, I don't... It's not that I dislike basketball, and I don't disrespect him as a person. I just don't really like or care that much about...
Fair enough. But we do like and care about Star Wars.
We do, yes. So, what is All right, I don't have anything. Speaking of the number 4, May 4th. Here we go. I was gonna find it. Took a second.
Where was the number 4 in there? May have missed
24.
it. Okay,
24.
there you go. There you go. Good job.
So here's the deal. Something I've been personally looking forward to for a while. Disney Gallery's The Book of Boba Fett. The behind the scenes of Book of Boba Fett coming May 4th. BTS, let's go. I'm so excited. I love behind the scenes. I was listening to a podcast today about the bonus features disc of Attack of the Clones. That tells you how much I like bonus features. I would listen to some other random nerd on the internet talk about it, okay?
Fair enough.
I'm very excited about this. Very excited about this. I don't know where this report came from, though. I looked online. I couldn't figure out the source.
Disney Plus Informer or something like that, and then Jordan Mason from like Cinelinx or wherever that guy works. So
that's where he's from.
I think I don't want to say something that's wrong. So that might not be true. Might not be true. But I know it was from him. That was the first person I saw tweet about it.
Okay, as soon as you said his name, I remembered seeing that, but it was random, and I didn't realize he was important. So I kind of just wrote it off. But now it's great to see that we get this gallery episode. You know, it's supposed to only be one episode. I did read that, but that's what they did with season 2 of Mandalorian. It was like an hour, of content.
Yeah.
Something like that. And look, any extra Star Wars content I can get my hands on is a good day. So I'm perfectly fine, knowing that it's just one episode of this. Caleb, what are your thoughts on finally getting this content?
Well, I mean, May the 4th is a perfect day to release it, first of all. I think it's probably the day that they need to release it, if I'm being honest, because everybody's going to be thinking about Star Wars on that day. And outside, and I'm fixing to sound negative for a second, and I apologize for that. But I don't think that if it released on a day outside of Star Wars Day, that a lot of people would check it out. I think it being released on that day will make people want to, let me celebrate Star Wars by checking out this behind the scenes on the Book of Boba Fett thing, which is great. I mean, that's fine. Of course, behind the scenes stuff is not going to get as many views, but, you want to boost up those views, release it on Star Wars Day because people are already thinking about it. I do have a feeling that a lot, or not, maybe not a lot, but a good 10 to 15 minutes of this thing might be them addressing and justifying their decisions on turning it into Mando 2.5, which I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the creative minds on why they did that, and maybe they tease just, and this... They're not going to tell us what's coming, but just like one little comment of, and you'll see that story continue whenever they decide to release it, whatever. But I can't wait. I can't wait to hear just their creative minds discuss all the different things that went into Book of Boba Fett.
That's a really good point you made about it being the 2.5 season of Mando, because they need to talk about that, because there was a lot, like, we know that was already established before the show came out,
right?
Because we've talked about that extensively, but the majority of viewers didn't. So
what up, Tim?
Yeah, Speederbike Tim in the chat. What up, man? I'm glad you're here. So they do need to address that. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's not even something I considered. I never even considered that. So I'm glad that hopefully they talk about that. I don't think it'll be 15 minutes, but
10 to 15 maybe. How long do you think this thing's going to be? How long was the season 2 one? I don't remember.
There were 2 of them.
Yeah, they broke it into 2.
Yeah, they did that whole one on Luke. I think they were both about an hour.
Okay.
I think so.
So maybe not 10 minutes then. Maybe about 5 to 8.
You don't need 5 minutes to really tell. This is why we did it,
Okay, well, I'm throwing in there like Grogu, like them showing Grogu, them explaining Luke coming back in better detail, because that's all connected to Mandalorian 2.5 in a way for me.
Well, that Luke stuff is going to be 10 minutes on its own.
Fair. So maybe I need to go back to my 10-15 range.
Maybe. Well, I've just convinced myself it's 10 to 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably 10 to 15. Okay, you know what? Scratch everything I said a second ago. 10 to 15. Just on that.
Nice.
I can see that. Yeah.
Well, totally I can't wait. I can't wait to watch it. It'll be a great way to celebrate the day. I have to say, though, I am still holding out hope that another Kenobi trailer comes out on May the 4th, but
I bet it will.
It sounds like, though, and this didn't make the cut as far as notes goes, but it's something that's going out there on the Tweeterverse. Inside joke there. Should we explain?
Inside jokes. I'd love to be a part of one someday.
No, it's a joke that you made to me, texting me today.
I was quoting The Office. Caleb.
Oh, I don't know I've seen The Office, but I don't know the quotes off the cuff like you.
That's a Michael Scott season 3 episode 4 or 5ish somewhere.
What
in there?
in the world, man?
Yeah,
what in
somewhere
the world?
Yeah. That's a good episode. That's one of the best episodes of The Office. I'm just
I don't
saying.
know what you're talking about.
No, look, we're already here. We might as well. Caleb's brother Jacob. If those of you who've been around for a while, Mando Talk know Jacob. Jacob's awesome. By the way, he's incredible. He was on whenever we did Visions with my brother, and I don't know if it was actually on air or not, but we were like, Jacob, how you been, man? What you been up to? And he goes, oh, I've been working and I've been doing, just outside all day, and man, my legs got all ate up by chiggers. And if you don't know what a chigger is, it's just a bug.
It's just a bug.
It's just a bug. Anytime somebody says tweeter, I can hear Jacob in my head going, chiggers.
That's great.
It's just hilarious.
That was on air, and that was top tier Mando Talk content for sure. I'm
just glad I experienced it, and I about fell out of my chair whenever thought about that.
What was I trying to say about Tweeter?
The Kenobi stuff with that we might get a trailer.
You're right. There you go. Yeah, because I've been holding out hope on a trailer May the 4th for Kenobi, but it sounds like it's coming, or maybe not a trailer, but some form of promotional material is coming within the week.
Yeah, they need to do
something.
something.
I don't know who this report came from, honestly, but it's out there.
Well,
it's out there enough for Bespin Bulletin to write about it, which we all know that Bespin Bulletin's pretty trusted.
Legit. Yeah. Did I read it wrong? Because it says within the week. Do they mean this week?
See, I don't know. I think it was just within 7-day window from their report.
Well, so I don't know where these people find inside sources like this, because it always blows me away. Yeah. But anyway, it's awesome that if we get it now, we get it May 4th. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Just give it. It'll be great.
And we are getting, regardless, it sounds like, at least. Again, I guess this wasn't from official Star Wars or Lucasfilm or anything. We're just rolling with it.
Yeah,
sounds like we're getting Disney Gallery, the Book of Boba Fett, on May 4th, which is exciting. Can't wait to watch it. And, of course, here at Mando Talk, we've got you covered. All right, our last 2 news pieces, I'll go ahead and combine them since they are both related to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Rumors regarding the composer of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series have made their way online, revealing that Natalie Holt, who is the composer of Loki, will compose the series. The source on this is actually a John Williams fan website, which is jwfan.com. I've never checked out this website. After the stream, I'm probably going to go over to Google Chrome and type in jwfan.com. I would love to see what's on there. But yeah, that's the first thing as far as Kenobi goes, that Natalie Holt, the composer of Loki, is rumored to be composing the series. We'll pause there for a second. What do you think of this, DJ? I will say just real quickly, for me, I loved the Loki soundtrack. I loved the Loki sounds. I especially loved the main theme for Loki in that series. So this is exciting to me. What about you, DJ?
I can give or take, anything with the Loki music. Okay. It had its epic moments, And I saw somebody online yesterday complaining about, I don't know who it was. It wasn't anybody, reputable. It was just another person. But they were talking about how they didn't like that Marvel isn't consistent with their composers, like, John Williams in Star Wars. And I thought that's an odd thing to be upset over because, it's not the same directors for every Captain America movie. Or it's not the same. Well, it was almost the same directors, I think, for every Iron Man movie. But Jon Favreau did the first 2. I don't think he did the third one. But regardless, you see a changing of the guard a lot, and that's because directors want a different style and different take. So I don't have an issue with things like that. so I guess that's to say I don't really have an issue with Natalie Holt doing the music because I don't really care about the changing here. But as far as Loki's music go, if we, short discussion on that. I mean, there's better music in the Marvel in the MCU.
Oh,
There's
yeah, you're right. Now, obviously, for me, I would have loved for it to have been Kiners.
Or John Powell.
Yeah, or, of course, Michael Giacchino. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But don't forget, of course, we got that report and rumor that John Williams is at least composing the theme, which is most exciting for me.
He did that for Solo, and he did it for Galaxy's Edge, and that's great. Those things are important because he's still around and he's still willing to work on some Star Wars music.
Speaking of that Galaxy's Edge music,
go ahead.
I just have to say, when you walk into Galaxy's Edge and you hear that, it really does take you to the world. It's so beautiful.
That's good to hear.
The way that they pump it into that little entrance too is done so well. Gosh, just that alone makes me want to go back. Anyway.
I just want to go.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think this time next year I'll have an opportunity to. So
every Star Wars fan, if you can, you need to find a way to experience. I know it's a massive financial commitment.
Yeah, it's like Mecca. They say you got to go to Mecca once if you're Islamic, I think the thing is. So it's like if you're a Star Wars cultist, you got to go to one of the two Batus.
Yeah.
One of the two. But either way, I plan on going one day. But you're right. That music he's done for that, I actually have that in a regular playlist I listen to.
Yeah. And rightfully so. It's great.
It's beautiful. I honestly, just brag on John Williams, not that he needs it, but when I listen to that, I put it up there with, honestly, it's up there with like Duel of the Fates, Across the Stars for me.
It's good.
It's some of his best Star Wars music.
Mm-hmm.
It actually, oddly enough, I think it's better than anything he did for Rise of Skywalker. I mean, Rise of Skywalker might be the most lackluster of the 9 saga films for me in music, but 8's actually pretty high to the top, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 8's score is pretty good.
Chrome Dome is the song in that soundtrack. Anyway, just talking about John Williams. I could talk about John Williams for a while, I think. But, go ahead and go to that next one because, one more.
Our final news piece.
We did it.
Today, we did do it. Of course, we're a little over an hour, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Today, an official promotional banner for Obi-Wan Kenobi was released, featuring a new duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader himself. This promotional little banner looks like it's going to start being put in stores, potentially. I saw an image of that banner kind of it looked like a store setting. I'm guessing on that, but this banner did enough for me to get me pumped for this show. Of course, I've already said, sitting here in this episode, I've said, look, we need another trailer, but if they didn't release another trailer, this picture does enough. It does enough as far as getting me I'm already excited enough to watch the show anyway, but seeing this image as just any basic fan should get you excited. It looks great. Check it out if you haven't. I retweeted it at Mando Talk on Twitter, so go follow us there if you haven't seen the image. Of course, if you're on YouTube, you can actually see the picture. So, I'm trying to, you can get it anywhere. You can get it anywhere. It looks great.
I'm going to Mando Talk Twitter right now just to kind of remind myself. Because, I know I can see it on YouTube, but I just want to see it, elongated. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Because there's a lot going on here. I guess to briefly break it down, off to the left of his face, you got Star Wars with the Obi-Wan Kenobi logo, which still a great logo. I mean, it's got his lightsaber for the eye in Kenobi. So that's just awesome. It's Ewan, clear as day, it's Ewan. And then it's Vader, but the thing about this Vader is I can't pinpoint which era of Vader it is. Because if you look at each Vader suit from all of its, I'm including episode 7 and 9 because we see the helmet in that one. If you look at every Vader, you can typically see a difference. I can't figure out, where this one belongs. Because 3s is a little bit different because it was built for Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 is different because it wasn't symmetrical. And Rogue One's probably the same because they went hardcore into the detail. And then when you get into 5 and 6, the armor changed more than anything. I think by the time you get to episode 6, Vader now has a silver chain for his cape, which it's like bling bling. It's kind of a neat thing. But I don't know. It's just hard to tell. I just have a really hard time telling. But I love the way it looks, that side profile. Maybe maybe that's like half the story. Maybe that the helmet gets damaged or something. I don't know. It got damaged in Rebels. Why can't it get damaged here?
Fair. That would be cool.
That's how we see Hayden.
Yeah, that's potential. There's potential there.
But the big thing is honestly the middle there with the blue flames. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just I don't know, smoke.
That's the best image of Darth Vader though they could have used.
Connecting this back to our main title. We got a little blue hue there. Qui-Gon Jinn confirmed.
He's just
confirmed.
There.
He's there.
He's just there.
He is there in that promotional banner. Confirmed.
So, okay,
Facts.
Let's take it a step further. Okay, I'll do you one better.
Okay.
All right. Why is Gamora? No, but for real, I'll do you one better on this. The blue smoke's there. What does Obi-Wan say to Luke before he leaves Dagobah? He goes, "If you go meet Vader, I can't interfere." Ooh. What if he doesn't interfere because Qui-Gon did, and it went south?
Ooh.
And he's like, "Nope, not making that mistake again." That's some deep thinking right there.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Someone at Lucasfilm is watching this. They're going, crap,
we didn't do it. Extend it. Push the premiere back a few more days.
one whole year.
Please don't. Please don't. I would rather not have that idea in it and actually
that idea sucks. Yeah, don't do that.
No, but hey, we got Blue Harvest Bricks in the chat. What's up? Glad to see you back here with us live. Says that banner looks so good with 3 flame emojis. John Hare says I'm getting Revenge of the Sith vibes from that poster. Yeah,
big time.
Absolutely,
big time. Where they were locked in, on that on the lava. This is like the perfect mirror.
And the left side of that is 1,000% lava, right? Behind his lightsaber? Like, is that, or at least flames?
Wait a second.
Is that not what the vibes it's supposed to be giving off?
What are you doing? Okay. Oh my goodness. If we go back to Mustafar.
I mean, we have to. That's where Vader's castle is.
No, but if they fight on Mustafar.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If they fight on, you know what? Nah, I can't do that. I'm too much of a chicken. If they fight on Mustafar, I'll get the Mando Talk skull tattooed on my body somewhere.
That's commitment. We're clipping it. Clip it. Look, you guys heard it. You guys heard it.
Take it back. I'm a chicken, man. I can't. My wife can't even convince me to get a tiny little tattoo.
Me either. See, I can't stand to have ink just on me, like pencil or pen.
I could if I couldn't see it.
Fair.
It's like on my back, my back or something. Not down low, not a tramp stamp, over here.
Fair. Look, this banner looks great.
That.
This banner looks great. DJ is confirmed. DJ is getting a tattoo after Obi-Wan and Anakin, Darth Vader, duel on Mustafar.
If they had tattoo artists at Celebration just set up in there, I would get a Star Wars tattoo at Celebration. I have to succumb to the pressure.
Can somebody confirm if tattoo artists are at Celebration and they just willingly give tattoos?
RFBs, no, you have to pay for it.
John Hare says, do it.
Of course John Hare would. I know John. John is just that guy. He's like, get a tattoo. Do it. He's just that person. RFB, if he's still listening, he's been to a Celebration. He could confirm for us. I know that they've done it before. I've seen people get tattoos at Celebration.
Nice.
So, I mean, if I would just succumb to the pressure, I'll just get the Roman numeral 3, right there, just big as a day.
Yeah.
I should get the Roman numeral 2 because I'm named after my dad. So that's what I should do.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I'm not going to do that, though.
Anyway, this promotional banner looks great.
I'm going to tattoo the banner on my face.
That would be detailed.
Right here.
That would be like I don't know how long it would take, but 18-hour session.
That's a multiple session tattoo. If you were going to do that, multiple session. Like I like tattoos. I think they're cool. Mm-hmm. I just don't have any.
Fair.
And people who have like crazy detailed tattoos, I like envy the stamina it takes to withstand that pain. Like that's incredible to me.
Yeah.
We can talk about tattoos all day, I feel like. We don't even have any.
Okay, here's like our third podcast idea. If we were to get a Star Wars tattoo, what would it be?
That'd be fun.
We got to answer that question now. We've got 3 ideas that we could easily branch off into.
Mace Windu, and what was the third? What's the other one?
I can't remember now.
Tattoo artist confirmed at Star Wars Celebration, though RFP's never been to one. Well, if you're going this year, you should fix it, sir. That'd be fun. Get the Mando Talk tattoo on, like we were talking about.
Okay, there it is. That's the idea.
That's what RFB needs to do for us right there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right. We did it. We went over, of course. I mean, wouldn't we let you down if we didn't go over, though?
I think we would.
Yeah, like we always got to go over. We got through every single news piece, 10 news pieces. We did them all. A lot of them focused on Kenobi, which is great because that means Kenobi is coming soon, which, by the way, if Kenobi is coming soon, that means we have limited amount of time to get to 200 subscribers. So you need to, if you're watching with us live or listening back on whatever platform you're on, you need to share our YouTube link specifically. It's in the description wherever you're listening. Send it to a friend, send it to a family member, and be like, look, we are all, as a world, about to go on a great adventure with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you want to subscribe to these guys to get Obi-Wan Kenobi coverage. We would greatly appreciate that. 200, that's our goal. We can only get there if you guys help us get there. So do it. And we greatly appreciate it. DJ, any final thoughts that you would like to share to our lovely, 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 beautiful, wonderful, fantastic listeners?
If I may briefly talk about why I was not on the show last week.
Do it.
So the truth of the matter is this, guys. I wasn't on the show last week. I had a death in the family. And that death was via suicide. And I know it's a very heavy topic, and it's something that a lot of people don't like to discuss. Truth is, I've never experienced it before this last week. But just to keep it, not too heavy, just if you or someone you know is struggling with anything, and that is the route that they are considering taking, help them, love on them, do what you can. If I had known that my relative was hurting that badly, I'd have stepped in, and I know that's what a lot of people end up saying with things like this, but that last week, that was more important than Star Wars. It was being there for family. And while Star Wars is a lot about family, I don't want to go too far and too heavy with it, but listen, we don't talk about that kind of stuff on the show much, if ever, but just, if you know somebody or you yourself is struggling with that, there are options. You can talk. My DMs are open. I'll talk to you all day. I don't mind talking to people. I like to talk. That's part of why I'm the talk and Mando talk. Caleb's the Mando, but I wanted to just tell you guys, that's why I wasn't on the show last week. And if you're struggling with that, talk to somebody about it. Talk to me about it. I'll do what I can. I don't mind doing that. I'd venture to say Caleb would do the same thing.
100%. 100%.
So just wanted to share that with you guys. I would appreciate, prayers for my family at this time. I very much appreciate that. So anyway, other than that, I'm so glad I got to be back on the show this week. I love doing Mando Talk. I look forward to it every week, and it's just a blast and a half for me. So, as always, Caleb, thank you. I mean, you're the reason I'm even on the show.
Hey,
so, thank you.
No, thank you for everything you delivered to the show, man. And I can't wait to do it again. We had a great episode.
Yeah.
A great episode.
Happy not at your post day.
Happy not at your post day.
Yeah.
But we were at our post.
We 100% were.
We got it done.
What are you? Are you TK420 and I'm TK423?
Sure.
Or 4? Because
Sure.
one of the two guys went into the Falcon and none came out. So,
whatever happened to them?
That's what I'm thinking. Jettison.
Fourth podcast idea.
Oh my gosh. We got to get out of here. It's too much.
Yeah, we do. But hey, that one could be a long discussion. Talk about some theorizing and speculation.
They get jettisoned in the coffin that Ray got shot out of the Falcon in TLJ. They're just out there.
Oh man, that's great.
Oh,
all right, let's get out of here. We are so thankful for you guys. We love you guys, whoever you are, wherever you are, wherever you are.
Wherever you are, yeah.
Thank you so much. And until next time, next Thursday at the same exact time, live at 6 p.m. Central, and of course on our podcast platforms the following morning. Until then, as always, we have spoken.